Morning, everybody. We are here with Kim White today. Oh, can you hear me, Kim?
Now I can hear you. You were fritzing up. Let me
Okay, good. My camera's here, but you're on the screen here. So if I'm like looking off, I'm actually looking at you and the comments.
You don't have to look at me.
But we are here with Kim White is my assistant for Coding with Sam today, just to make sure I don't get anything wrong. But I think the recipe I picked today is pretty straightforward, but a common one. So we should be able to dive right into that. Let me share my screen. I'm doing all the things today. And let me get to the comments. I see a webmaster. I know you're in the Slack community. Welcome. Good morning. Okay, so this morning, where's my cursor? There it is. Okay, we're going to be changing the wording membership to subscription. And this code recipe is not a guarantee, but it is helpful to change it in different places. But it's not one of those things where it's like, I put this code recipe on my site and everything should say subscription, or everything should say whatever you put in the code. So to begin with, I'm going to show you on the front end where this wording membership to subscription is going to actually change. So the membership checkout is actually the page title. So that will not change, but I can show you how to update the page title. What would change with this code recipe is our information, like cards that we have on the membership checkout page. So membership information, you've selected the premium membership level, the price for membership those are the places it's going to change. If you've been with us before, you know how easy it is to copy and paste the code recipe in our Snippets plugin. It's Code Snippets by Code Snippets Pro. We'll add a new one and make sure you enter your title just so you know what you're doing later on if you need to turn this on or off. I go ahead and delete all of this information. I know last Coding with Sam, we had a viewer say, oh, but I keep it so I know what it does. You can absolutely keep it. It's not going to hurt anything. I just don't. Probably because I am the index for Painterships Pro. I know where all the recipes and blog posts are, so I don't need all of that information. So let's just show this to you out of the box. I put the code in. There shouldn't be any changes I have to make to this code as long as I want to use the word subscription. So now if we go back to the front end, and I'll go back to a checkout. Oh, you can already see. Actually, let me go back. So subscription is required for this post, and I can view the subscriptions. This does say membership levels because it's a page title. So we're not there yet. We haven't changed that. But I can select my premium level. And now it's subscription information. I've selected the premium subscription and the price for the subscription. So those are the places it changes. If we edit this page title, we can say subscription checkout. And then if we view the page, that's where now everything says subscription. And I don't see any questions yet. Like I said, this one's pretty straightforward. Nothing too crazy. Oh, and Kim is also noting the members account page changes.
Right. So, it won't say membership level. It'll say whatever you've changed it to. You have to be logged in to see.
I am logged in. Oh. I don't know if I have a level yet.
Oh,
view your subscription account.
Yeah, there you go.
My subscriptions. I have the basic subscription. And I don't actually have a menu set up on this site, and maybe I should spend some time building the site out just a little bit more for you guys, because that was
Menus
kind
are
of a
helpful.
little choppy way to get to. Yeah, menus are very helpful. That was a choppy way to get to the account, but as you can see here, it says membership account, not subscription account. So you could update that page title as well. I don't want to update too much on my site because when I get done with this, I change everything else back. So I don't want to have to find out all the places that have changed everything. Okay, so now that we saw what it actually does change, let's go back into the code snippet. And I don't have another great name for like a membership or a subscription. So we're just going to go with something a little silly. But if I edit this, I'm going to show you all the places within the code if you did not want to use the word subscription. And I'm just going to use the word panda. I know it's a little silly, but it will get the point across. So everywhere it says subscription, we're going to change it to panda. And we do want to keep these, the capitalization correct, or else it's going to look like you poorly capitalized or incapitalized your site. So this is capital P. This will be a lowercase p. Can't even spell panda correctly this morning. More coffee is needed. Okay, so those are the places I know, and then I don't see any others that need to be updated. Is that correct, Kim?
That is correct.
Beautiful.
You might want to make, well,
these changes.
the second where they say membership level, you still may want to say panda level or whatever you're saying, panda. But you can write what it can be long. Like if you're
Right,
saying,
you can write whatever you want, like
panda
panda
system
access tier or something. You know, like it can literally be anything. Go wild within reason for your site. So let's go back to coding with Sam, and now it's a panda is required. View the pandas. Like I said, this was silly, but it was just to show you exactly. I've selected the premium panda access tier, but I have the current panda access tier. So that was just a really silly example, but that was just to kind of get the point across that you can literally change it to anything. Okay, so a couple questions. It still says membership confirmation on the right. Let's see what Lynn was looking at. But now it's probably going to say, oh, membership confirmation.
That's because that's the name of the page.
Right. Yeah, that's a page title.
That's a page title.
So if I was to update this to subscription or the silly one or the panda, it would be panda confirmation if I change the title of the page, but that is the title of the page. So that's one place that it does not change is page titles. You will need to go in. You can do it a couple different ways. You can edit the page if you're on the page, or you can look here and go, okay, this says that this is the membership account page. I want this to be the panda account page. Membership billing, I want this to be, your subscription billing, your panda billing, whatever. So all of these would have to be updated to what you want to call your membership rather than the word membership. This one here, I did update subscription checkout is actually the membership checkout page. These black titles versus the name of the page is linking up in PMPro Pro saying this page is assigned to this this page. Like this is what we want to show.
Action.
This, yeah. So that is why that did not change, Lynn. NASE minute, can you make a short code for the membership label and use that everywhere?
You can make a short code for anything. That's like not really the scope. It's outside the scope of what we're doing right now. I wouldn't know. That would be you might even have a way to display it. Yeah.
I would recommend for you to reach out to us via our contact page and describe kind of what membership label you're looking to use and your use case for that. And we can kind of point you into the information. We do have a list of short codes on our site.
What I was thinking of.
Blocks and short codes. So you can take a look at the, we've got page short codes, general short codes. So you can take a look at our documentation and kind of scroll through that and see if there's something that you're looking for there. But we do want to keep these coding with Sam's pretty strict to the code recipe that we're discussing, because we do add these to our blog post page. That way people can view them later and kind of walk through the steps with me as they update their site.
Did you want to cover the email?
Oh, yes. Okay, so the other thing that you have to do is this, it's on the recipe. So like I said, it's not foolproof, but it is a quick way to modify it. But one thing you have to make sure that you do, and you don't have to necessarily edit them, but you have to at least go in, click them, and then save them, is your email templates. So if we go to memberships, settings, email templates, and you're going to want to do this for all of them, right, Kim?
The ones you're using, yes. So what happens with this code is it's looking through our code and saying, oh, you said membership, we're going to make subscription. You said, so when you first get your email templates, if you don't change them, you're looking at Paid Memberships Pro code. Once you go in and change that, it becomes part of the database. So that code snippet isn't going to change that. So you want to go in for any of these that you're using and make sure you save it, and then it'll save it to the database. Then it's not going to, because it'll actually change our code variables to
Right.
subscription, and then you'll just
I
get
don't
a
think
readout that says subscription, which of course is not a variable. So
all of mine are enabled. So I'll do one that I know for a fact would have a variable like this. So like paid checkout has a variable for a level. All I have to do is click into it and click save template. There's no editing required.
yeah.
You don't have to change anything. You can if you'd like, but you don't have to. But once that template's saved, that's what Kim was talking about. Of then it goes into the database versus being PMPro Pro code.
Right. So if you notice you use this and some of your emails are incorrect, that's the issue. Just go in and save them, and then they won't get filtered, go through that filter.
Yeah. Another off-topic thing, but FlipSnap, I can point you in the right direction. FlipSnap is asking how to create a pricing table using the fields in membership levels. I would check out our advanced levels page add-on. And then if you're using a page builder, we also have blog posts on how to build a pricing table with different page builders. So just search our site for either one of those resources, and you can definitely find those. And we did that in 13 minutes.
It was a very simple one.
It was
And
a
you're
very
so
simple
wonderful.
one. And
So
the week I've had, I needed a simple code recipe for you guys.
right. And I don't agree with cutting off all that information, because I find when I go back, it's very helpful to have what it was. So I recommend, if you are actually building a site, keep that header information, because that will also help us if there's troubleshooting. We'll know where it came from.
All of this information up here.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying, from a support perspective.
That's good to know. Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
someone else said that, if they ever pass like developer hands, they like to have that information there too.
Right.
So by all means, you can absolutely keep it. It's not going to change the effect of the code recipe at all. And if you also do get rid of it, if we ever say like, oh, change this information on line 30, if you delete that, it's not going to be line 30. You're going to have to find where
Right.
it really is in your code. So
right.
um,
That's a good thing to know too. Yeah.
Lynn, you're asking about members and members directory. I know you're in our Slack, so that would be a great question for there. So I would ask it in that channel. Before we go, I did. Oh no, I'm sorry, Lynn. I know support hasn't been too crazy this week, I don't think. But if you have an open ticket, we'll definitely be helping you. I promise you there. So before we go, you can view all of our events at pagerswisspro.com/live. Our next event will be October 10th. Kim Coleman will be with me. She's going to be diving into creating dark mode websites, and this kind of plays into our new design settings on inverting that color scheme. So that'll be fun. The next coding with Sam, you can view on the event calendar. It will be the 18th. And then we will also be having, if you're in our Slack community, there are events specifically for those within the Slack. So if you're not in our Slack, Paid Memberships Pro /Slack. Slack. That's a lot of mouth words to say. Join our Slack community, and you will be tuned into those events that are happening there. Kim, is there anything else that we're missing?
No, you're doing great. This is the easiest thing I've ever done.
It's so much easier than an AMA.
You did everything. Well,
it's short, it's sweet.
And you're driving everything.
All you got to do is sit there and look pretty.
Yeah, thanks.
Perfect. Well, I don't see any other questions coming in. What's the link to the Snippet plugin? Oh, that is a great question. Let me grab that link for you real quick, because the Snippets plugin is the best plugin.
Yeah, and we have no relationship with them that I know of.
We do not.
Yeah, we're not promoting.
There is no relationship here. I just really appreciate, as someone who's not a coder, I really appreciate the ability for me to add code into my website and have it work being this simple. Like, I literally just put it in and I activate it. It's great.
And if you ever, I know as a developer, sometimes we may use that. I'll use that while I'm working, and then at the end, wrap that in. This is when you get into my own custom plugin. But it's great. It's fine for using while it's there, and it's very good, because if you copy in something that's wrong, 98% of the time it'll not let you save it. Whereas if you had your own plugin, it would just crash your site. So that's really nice about using the snippet plugins. But developers, they may do that, but then they'll roll it into their own custom plugin, which I know nobody wants to do right now.
The library of recipes you can find here. It's paidmembershipspro.com/category/recipes. We have a few free recipes, and then most of our recipes are premium for people holding standard or plus. We actually do use our limit views add-on, so people who are not logged in and or free do get access. I think it's one code recipe a month, but Kim Coleman's not here to correct me on that. But I think that's how we set it up. I think it's one recipe a month that you can, a premium recipe that you can view if you're not logged in or if you're a free user. You absolutely find it there. Perfect. And I'll be adding all these links to the YouTube description of this video, so you can find them later as well. As soon as we get off, I optimize the description of the video and add chapters, and I add it to the recipe page as well, so you'll see it within the blog post.
Love that feature.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, because I'm a visual learner sometimes, and if you write out the instructions, if I just see it, it's very helpful. I think that's a great thing for a lot of people.
Yeah, and when they're up to date, it's really easy to follow step by step of, this is what my screen looks like, this is what their screen looks like, and you can walk through it. Whereas I do know, I mean, we're working on optimizing our recipe posts as well. We're kind of giving them a little bit of facelift, making them more educational, really getting into the nitty-gritty step-by-step process to add these recipes, versus like, here's just a little bit of information of what it does, here's the recipe, good luck. We're kind of adding more for people like me, like our DIYers that are building their sites. So yeah, it's a slow process, but these they're getting updated, I promise.
And it's so helpful in another way, because I had like a question yesterday. If we use different words, a user, you might have a site. I once years ago had somebody said, "Well, on the eyebrow," and I'm like, "The eyebrow?" And we went back and forth till finally, and I think they came from the print world, and maybe that's what they called it. But then once they pointed out, it was like, "Oh, the menu." And so yeah, so having that is like helps our words become the same.
Yes, yes, it does. Well, that is all I have for Coding with Sam this morning. We like to keep these short and sweet. And then Mallory said, notice that your submit and checkout button reads check out, which is incorrect. Can this be fixed universally in Paid Memberships Pro? Was that on my demo site that I was using? Or is that on the Paid Memberships Pro site? I have checkout as one word
Submit
here.
and checkout. Mine's two. Is it supposed to be one word?
Well, so it depends on the. Hi, Gavin. It depends on the use of the word checkout. If I'm checking out something, like I want to view something, it should be two words. But if I'm completing my checkout for like my groceries or the membership, it should be one word. So it's one of those like weird English words there. Mallory, if you're a paid member and it's on your site, let's get you to submit a ticket to figure out where that could be going wrong and getting our team to help you on that. But yeah, it should be one
able
word.
to be fixed with it should be there. Okay, well then we'll submit that and we'll get that fixed.
Yeah. Submit a ticket, Mallory, for sure. Okay, and with that, for real, thank you for joining Coding with Sam today, and we will see you on the 10th with Kim Coleman.